Hello and welcome back to No Man's Land for our survival let's play. Today we're starting over at the store, and the reason for that is we're going to crack on with what we were talking about in the last episode. In fact, what we've spoke about in the last few episodes, to be honest, for quite a while. And that is transforming that bit of land. Well, I say that bit of land. That huge new piece of land that we've got. I was just trying to figure out which more we're going to get, but I think we're pretty restricted. And I think this one, the JMD 4411, is going to be the best one when it comes to just horsepower requirement, the width, and its price. So we're going to purchase that. And while we're here, I've never seen her actually move before. Where she can? Ah, so she literally just spun around. We all know. Also, I just can't even say my words today, can I? Oh, so the other thing I've decided as well, we're not doing a silage pit, because if you look in here, there's a wrapper for 22 grand. I didn't know it was that cheap. I had no idea the wrapper was that cheap. And then there's a baler as well for there she goes again, just going around in circles. There's also a baler, a New Holland baler, really quite an old one, for 30 grand. So that is what we're going with. As far as windrows go, see, my original plan was I was going to use that. However, I don't have. That's 80 horsepower. See, I'd have to use the Steyr to run it. So, what's this baler? 45. Under normal circumstances, I might have been able to get away with that. But I don't think, with how beat up the Steyr is and the fact that I can't fix it, I don't think we'll be able to use it. I can't use it on the 6140. There's 6140 in it. I can't use it on there. So I think that might be out, but that's what I wanted to use anyway. What we're actually going to use is this one. This is the one we're going to go for. So we'll buy this. And I should be able to take them both down at the same time as well. So off camera, God, that's put us down loads already. Off camera yesterday, after yesterday's episode, I made 30,600, I think it was. So I was quite pleased with that. What side are we on? That would be, wouldn't it? I didn't tell you how I made that, did I? I made that by selling wood. I cut quite a few spruce trees down. Again, until the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, it was nothing, don't get us wrong, it was nothing like when I was doing the oak trees. Because, I mean, that was just horrific, but I think it still takes its toll. Right, we'll jump to down the bottom, and then we'll start cracking. Okay, so I've dropped the windrower off. We're going to start in this area, but I want to move down into there as well. The plan being, we'll tackle it in waves. Well, we'll do if it'll... There we go. We'll tackle it in waves. I'm not going to sort of do the whole piece of land to start with. I hope this doesn't go slow as that the whole time, otherwise it's going to be horrific. No, that's better. There's a path up here, sort of a track. I want to basically go up to around there. I think we've already passed it. What we should have done, and it's what I meant to do as well, I just forgot, was we should have took our baler up to the store. In fact, just up to here. We should have took our baler up, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell our baler, and that's going to be used to fund the new baler. I'm hoping I'll just get enough, and it'll be mega tight as to whether we'll have enough or not. I'm going to go back up there. I'll go back around the other side because I want to get a little bit closer to that. I mean, all these trees here are going to be coming out. I just didn't want, after spending all the time last night, I didn't want to just sort of do that either in today's episode or waste the time in today's episode by doing that. I mean, when we have times 5 on it, it seems to absolutely fly over. And I made the mistake yesterday of, which I mentioned, about letting the time run on accidentally. So we lost half the day. Really slows down when we get that bit. It doesn't even look that steep, to be honest. I don't even know, sort of silage wise, if it's going to be massively profitable. Playing on hard mode, I have no idea. Obviously, in every other game, silage is always brilliant to do, isn't it? It's always a good way of making money, and I don't think I've ever been on a map where it hasn't been, unless you have to buy the BGA or something like that. Silage is always a winner. I'm not sure if there is a cheap BGA out yet. I know that in 19, Alien Jim put that the one attached to this, didn't he? A really cheap BGA. I think it was 30 grand. And then you could buy the extension for about 15 or something as well. That's the one I used in our survival Let's Play on Jack Pine. To absolute great effect as well. Brilliant. And if there is, it's certainly something I'd look at doing this, because that's where you normally get the best price at. I looked as we were driving up. As we were driving up to the store, I think silage prices was something like 149 per 1,000 litres. That's at the farm shop. Whether that would be any more a BG or not, I'm not sure. We would have to have a look. And again, I don't even know if there's a BGA that's suitable. Because what I'll plan on doing is some of this area that I'm cutting now, and some of the other areas that we probably won't get to today, I'll turn into grass fields, and we'll treat them and just do sort of everything that we would normally do with a field, instead of just letting it grow naturally like this, like a sort of meadow effect. Which I absolutely love, by the way. I think the grass work in 22 looks really good, and it's all of it as well. It's from this bit here, when you're seeing it cutting, the grass just looks longer, doesn't it, than it did in 19, to the windrow. The tedding, although we won't be tedding, but the tedding in particular is fantastic. Oh, you can see, if you look over to our field number 3 as well, that cover crop grown already. I expected it to be... Why have we just massively slowed down there? I expected it to be next month, so February, when it grew. So if we can get that turned in today, then we can get whatever crop we're going to be putting in. I haven't decided yet. I remember now where we did what map we did the cover crops on as well. It was the Speed Let's Play on Belarang. But for that one, and I can't remember why, but I think we found it wasn't worth doing. But again, I can't remember why it wasn't worth doing. Possibly for a map like that. It might have been worker costs. Whereas obviously we don't have workers in this one because we're not allowed them. Be brilliant if we could get the front mower as well. We just don't have enough power to do it. And then on the 6140, after the second time I've called it that, I'm kind of hoping it is called that. Like I said, I haven't been on this map for a while, up until yesterday. It doesn't have a 3-point linkage, which is so annoying. Although I can't really say anything about that tractor because it's been an absolute lifesaver. I still don't know as well. I know we've spoke about it. I don't know if it won't be this. It won't have been this series. I think it would probably be the Elm Creek series. I still don't know how long it takes grass to grow back, or when we play in seasons, how long it takes, or how many cuts you'll get. I think we might have spoke this briefly on Calmsden as well. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. So on 19 you used to get a cut at the beginning of the summer, didn't you? And then you would get the best cut at was it normally the end of the summer, beginning of autumn? You would get sort of the extra length on the grass. No idea how it works in this one yet. On Calmsden as well, as it stands now, although they haven't been released yet, I recorded episode 10 I think 2 days ago. They're ready to go, episodes 9 and 10, and I've just gone through the winter, basically all 3 winter months. So it's 6 in-game days the way we're playing it. I've just whizzed through them. I've kept the animals ticking over. There was, I think, 1 contract popped up that we did in them 6 days. What else did we do? I think we might have fertilised when it wasn't snowing. I think we might have fertilised 2 of our fields, something like that. So yeah, I've done that all in one episode because I thought it's pointless sort of kicking the backside out of it when there wasn't overly much to do. So on that one, I'll just start sort of figuring out when it's going to be best to do the cuts, etc., and how much we get them off. What I might do on there, and do you know what? I hadn't even thought about it until now. We've got a couple of grass fields, but at the minute they're just meadows rather than fields. I think I might just plough them up and actually make grass fields out of them. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. Assuming it does work, like it works in 19. Obviously I'm cutting this now, and please tell us if it doesn't, because it's gonna not so much in this series. I'll say that it still will, I suppose, but especially in Calmston, it'll stop me going to a lot of effort ploughing up land and then reseeding it with grass if we're not going to get any extra benefit. But I'm pretty sure it will, because you can then apply the fertiliser, can't you? I don't want to do too big of it because I want to see a sort of end result by the end of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that looks pretty much in line there. Should I just square that off? Oh my god. Don't know where that collision was sticking out of. There's another big chunk of wood as well that we'll be able to get. You'll see if you look over to that sort of where we've been cutting our trees down since the game began, they've thinned right out. I did take a good few down. A lot of them though, to be honest, they weren't the big ones that I was taking down. I weeded out a lot of the smaller ones, simply because I could leave the lengths longer and still pick them up. And it just made it a lot easier. And I wasn't getting that glitch as much, where it was when I was cutting the bigger trees with the thicker stumps. That's when I seem to be getting that glitch. Right, last couple of lengths of this. I tell you what I do want to do while I'm on it. I've been meaning to do it for a while as well. I just completely keep forgetting. There's some people on Twitter who just support us all the time. Whenever I put tweets out, they'll comment on my videos on YouTube. So the likes of Mike Nichols, really appreciated. Canadian Girl Ashley, really appreciated. Who else is there? There's more. 2 seconds. I'm just trying to work through. Tino Baden, another one, really appreciated. Felden, I mention Felden all the time because we comment on each other's videos quite a lot, and obviously he's massively knowledgeable about the game as well. There is one more who comments all the time, and I just can't. I'm just going through Twitter now, trying to find him. I know his first name, I just can't remember the second. I found the 2 actually. So the first one is, and I hope I pronounce this right because it's a class name, Dubois, and also Juan Pedro. I think Juan Pedro is from Brazil, because I see on the analytics on YouTube, sorry, where people are from, and I get a few viewers from Brazil. So yeah, them people who I've read out, I really appreciated. Pretty much every tweet I put out, they'll like, retweet, sometimes comment on, and there's others as well. It's just, I think they're the ones who pretty much every single one I put out, and yeah, I really appreciate it. I've been meaning to read that out for quite a while, but I just keep forgetting. And as well, if there's anything you want to ask about the series, or if you have any suggestions about it, then by all means just ask, either on Twitter or in the comments on YouTube. Sorry, I know I was stuttering now. I was just having a look to see how long we've been recording for. Yeah, I'm always more than happy to engage, which I think people who regularly comments will attest to. And there's always stuff what people will tell us, and I didn't even know. So there's a viewer called Andrew N. And he's told us a couple of things previously, but the latest one was how to get rid of all the junk on Carmston. Didn't know that because I'd purposely kept away from it. What other ones? I'm trying to think. There's absolutely loads. I've just looked there. We've already been recording for over 20 minutes now. So what I think I'm going to do is put a time lapse on for the rest of this wind run, and then we'll come back when we're ready to go up and get our baler. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so that would probably been quite a long time lapse. I know sometimes I chop it down quite a bit. I might have chopped the windrow. What? Say I start talking and instantly forget that the baler's on. Might as well get this bit now. Yeah, so I'll probably chop the windrow down a bit if anything. And just in case we don't show it, I took our baler up. I think we got 12,900 back for it, which I was quite happy with, to be honest. That gave us just enough really to be able to get this one, which, as I'd said before, was 30 grand. I mean, this one. It's going to make it so much easier, even though relatively compared to some of the others, it's still quite a small baler. I mean, is it 3,500 litres? Is that what we're getting? Yes, 3,500 litres, yeah. It's still better than conventional bales. I mean, that conventional baler was an absolute lifesaver at the beginning, because it was giving us money that we just wouldn't have had access to if it weren't for that. Because there's no way we could have afforded the other ones at the time. It was hard enough getting the 22 grand together for that baler, and this one here, that was 30 grand, wasn't out at the time. It's with it being a mod. But, I mean, in between, I mean, God, we already passed 1 o'clock. What I was going to say is, in between now and the next episode, we're going to have to sell a few more trees and get up to that 22 grand for that wrapper. And then I think there might be, as far as trailers go, because obviously we're going to need one, I think there might be a couple of cheaper trailers now. I'm sure one just dropped today as well. That's really cheap. I don't really want to have a look now because I know this video is already going to be long. I know I missed bits here and there, but if we're anywhere close, I will go back and pick them up. Although the pickup on this doesn't seem overly bad, to be honest, even though it's a smaller baler. Let's get these little bits here. I've just looked. Our fuel is way down, isn't it? We've used an absolute ton. have to remember to fill up again when we go and pick up the bale wrapper. I mean, saying that, we might have to fill up beforehand because we'll be going back and forth with the trailer full of timber. I wasn't even watching that. Do you know what I was looking at? I was thinking, instead of cutting some of the big trees down that's on here, going around getting the smaller ones that's been in our way today. Like that one there on the right hand side. Got so much to do on me, just looking at, I mean, at the minute we've got 2 fields that haven't even got crops in. We're going to be getting to, in fact, I think we are at this point, and again, I'm pretty sure I spoke about it in the last video, possibly. We need bigger equipment, don't we? We're at that stage now where, unless we get bigger equipment, we're not going to be able to keep up with sort of demand that we need to do. We need to be able to turn fields over faster. Which I think is the main one. We need a bigger cultivator. When we come to plough these up, there's no way I can be doing that with... Is now a plough something like 2.5 metres? I think you're going to see over the next few episodes some massive investment. I mean, we already have today. We've spent a lot of money today. What have we got? This was 30. The mower would take it up to 48. The windrower, 56. So 56 grand we've spent today. I know we recouped some of that with our own baler, but I'm pretty sure over the next, I'm saying sure, pretty confident over the next few episodes that's what we're going to be seeing. And we need it as well, to be fair. I mean, today we're not going to... Oh, I've done it again. Talking. What I was going to say was, we're not going to see the wrapping today. Because I'm going to have to spend time getting the trees down, but we might see if we can get that done in the next episode. But I need to get them fields turned over. So next episode, whether I start with a time lapse doing that, I should be able to get one. Surely I should be able to get another bale out of here somewhere. I won't do if I keep missing bits like. I'm not going to, am I? It doesn't matter, like, because we're going to be going down into the next bit in the next couple of episodes. Right, we'll just leave it at that. So, I mean, like I said, we spent a good chunk of money today, over 56 grand on new equipment, but equipment what I think is going to get us on track and moving forward. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode.